Hello, this is the 0th session of my September run of Stars in the Dark, which is a reskin of Blades in the Dark set in Star Wars, specifically the infamous level 1313 of Coruscant, where all the crime happens, all the crime all the time. We have done most of our crew creation and character creation. We're short one player today, so he will have to catch up later. And now let's do a quick round of player and character introductions. I'll do this in character keeper order. So Rich, who are you and who is Etema?
Hey, I'm Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. And this is, if this ends up posted, it's on my YouTube channel. I hope you like it. I am playing the reskin of the Cutter from Blades in the Dark, which was renamed the Gun Hand. They are a dangerous and intimidating fighter. I am bringing back a character from some other Star Wars Saturdays games, a Ratataki. What are the Ratataki? They were created for a video game in the Star Wars universe. They're gray-skinned with tribal tats, and they're, humanoids. Etema or Etema has a pretty varied past, but she likes killing stormtroopers. So that's a thing. She was a rebel spy briefly, but got her handler killed and finished the mission. But also maybe the rebels didn't necessarily want to use her as a spy, but she's an asset. She definitely is an asset. And she's given herself an alias. She read on some data pad about a dark side dragon known as the SSIS, HSSISS. So I guess on the street she's known as Sis. I don't know. Sis like sister, whatever. A lot of people know who Etema is. Others will just call her Sis. That is our violent, self-destructive gun hand, Etema.
Very cool. And next is Boko the Hound.
Me. I'm Mark. I do he or them pronouns. And yeah, I'll be playing Boko the Hound. Boko is a Pantoran, which is just a blue guy, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so the Hound is, we're going to be doing some tracking, and he's our intel guy, I guess. Has used to be street sec, and left under some cloud, I'm sure, and has some other connections to the underworld. Yeah, that's Boko.
Cool, thank you. And then we have Bria, if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Yes, when you were unmuted, you pronounced it Bria. Hi, I'm Kai. I use they, them pronouns. I'll be playing Bria, codenamed Besker, using she, her pronouns. I don't have a lot of details, but she was orphaned when the when Imperial troops attacked, for some reason, the noble family that I'm a part of, and ended up getting adopted by a Mandalorian, and spent some time being a Mandalorian, but she had a child and refused to bring them into the way of the Mandalorian. So she broke off from them, and her long-term vengeance against the Empire is building up with the rebels who are assigning them assassination missions. So she plays the long game, and it's finally coming to fruition. So that's my character.
Excellent. So
she's a lurk. She's a lurk, by the way.
Yeah, right. Which is the sneaky acrobatic sort of playbook. And your crew are assassins. Who wants to talk a bit about them? Rich, and now I'm pointing to you. Since
I was about to click the button anyway. I'm happy to. So you offered us the option of not just assassins who are terrible people who only kill folks, but assassins who are murders for hire and occasionally work jobs for the rebellion. That seemed okay. That made it less terrible. Our characters are not great folks. It is Blaze in the Dark reskin for Star Wars. We're in 1313. We kill or disappear people for money. Our crew's name is the Hidden Daggers because we're kind of a spin-off of a much larger faction, which is actually pretty strong, even though they're not gigantic themselves from a tier perspective. But the Hidden Daggers call home of a place called the Foundry in 1313. Our lair is this abandoned factory, which to outside eyes is nothing more than yet another part of the industrial boom that has faded over many, many years. But to us, it is hidden. It holds our quarters, so it is livable. And we call it, well, I don't know if every one of us calls it, but Atima definitely calls it home. Among our other assets, we have training and insight and prowess. That's purely a mechanical thing. We have a contact, Lydra, a deal broker who helps us to get our jobs. And of the special abilities, we chose predators, which means that when we use stealth or subterfuge to commit murder, we take +1d to the engagement roll. A whole lot of mechanics, but it pays off. It's totally worth it. Do you want me to talk about factions or pause for you, Anders?
I can do the factions quickly. So the crew has a positive relationship with the Thousand Knives, who are the ones who provided them with their lair and who are kind of their patrons slash mob bosses, if you want to go that view it that way. They take a cut of your profits, but they make sure you have a relatively safe place to operate from. The crew also has a positive relationship with Maxa's Free Rebels, who are kind of a break-off group from the Rebel Alliance. They're militants. They want retribution against the Empire. They're really into killing Imperials, which is useful for a group of assassins. And then you have negative relationships with the Bounty Hunters Guild, because you're taking their work. You're killing people for money. That's what they want to do. And also with the Semerage Corporation, who do most of the food production in this sector, which is a huge industry here. And you acquired some water filtration and air filtration systems to set up your headquarters from them by not entirely legal and above board means. So they may, if they find out that you're the ones who made that happen, they may come calling.
And they're tier 4, by the way.
They're tier 4, yes. So they are pretty dangerous. But I'm sure that won't come up. So I think that's most of the setup. And now I think we should go into your various friends and rivals. Each character has picked one person from a list on their character sheet who is a friend, ally, lover, something. They have a good relationship. And one person who is a rival, an enemy, a spurned lover, perhaps, with whom they have a fraught relationship, let's say. And I want to know some details about this these people. So let's go in reverse character keeper order this time. So it starts with Kai. Bria has a friend called Rosalind Kells, or Kellis. Who is this person?
Yes. So Rosalind is also a refugee from that attack. She's my aunt, I think, and she has she decided to adapt instead of fighting, and so she has regained a lot of her social status, and she has some ability to move things around and that kind of stuff in our area. I don't know where she would be in our area. I don't know about that, but she's a helpful sort. It's a good time seeing her whenever I can see her.
Mm-hmm. If she's wealthy and really in with the nobility, then she's probably living in the Heights, which is the place where the place in this sector is the only really nice place in this sector. So that's where the hoity-toity people live. If she's not quite that high up, then she's probably living in let me check, in the foothills, which is the area around the Heights where the wannabes live, the sort of your upper management and that sort of thing.
Let's see.
Or if she's into business, she could be living in Bright Market, which is the business district and fancy shopping area.
Yeah, let's say the Bright Market. Like, she's not dealing with ancestral wealth anymore. She's dealing with running a business.
Yeah, cool.
An import-export business of little definition.
Yeah, I mean, on a planet of trillions, that's just trading with a couple of levels up is basically an import business. But yeah, but she's running a business. Yeah, cool. Sorry, I shouldn't. She is running a business. Yes, that's the important bit.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you have an enemy, a Corsac officer.
Yeah. So Darmit, the Corsac officer, we had a short but fiery relationship, and when he found out how much I was hiding from him, like my child and my job, he got very upset. He felt very offended, and so he kind of goes out of his way to screw with my operations and stuff like that.
Very cool.
What would you call it?
He's a bit vindictive.
Yeah. He doesn't forgive very easily. So.
Mm-hmm. He holds a grudge.
Grudge, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure having an enemy among the police will not be a problem at all.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to Boko. Your friend is a spy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Valeris is a spy. I'm guessing they are probably a spy from one of the factions of the rebellion. who may be the one who brought me in or hooked me up with Atema. And yeah, I'm just making this up now. I'm thinking maybe so. Boko worked with the sort of street security department here, and I think maybe Valeria was the subject of some investigation on a non-spy thing that brought me into, and I kind of got rolled into their intrigue and whatnot through the course of that investigation and wound up on the same side. Probably helped each other out in various scrapes in our previous duties.
Cool. I'm writing some notes. Very cool. And then you have an enemy.
Yeah, that's Celine. She's a sentinel, which I imagine would probably translate to street sec here, because that's a
Oh, right.
thing.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's say they're a street sec. I just put street sec. Street sec is basically the patrol cops.
And I'm guessing Celine was probably, if not a partner, a close colleague back when I worked for them, and who sees me as having betrayed the department in whatever fashion I did. When I left under not great circumstances, I imagine.
I think they should definitely have been your partner.
Yeah.
Let's make it juicy. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. More cop enemies.
Yeah. all up and down.
Very cool. Okay, so Rich, your friend is the Beast.
Yeah, the Beast is a local shock boxer prize fighter. I dropped pick in the NPCs tab. Her full name's Betty Barlow, but she goes by the Beast, Betty the Beast Barlow. We're friends because in order to make a little scratch, Edema, or make a few creds, Edema or Atema will spar with the Beast and can take whatever it is that the Beast can throw out. I have the special ability of Vigorous, recovering from harm faster. So I thought that those two ideas might jive together. So yeah, they mostly spar, and Edema enjoys getting beaten to a stupor. So it's okay. Works out.
Yeah, very cool. And then your enemy is a medic.
I think that Sawtooth the medic is like a B1 droid. And Atima's got history with droids. One sold her out hardcore. Hardcore. Probably helped to cost her her lover at the time. So it's mostly that, and also the like, I don't need your services type deal. Even though occasionally the B1 droid will have to sew her up. And she might drag her friends to the medic because they might die.
She's above such concerns herself, of course.
Right, she's too tough. Sis.
Yeah, very cool. I just realized that one thing we haven't actually discussed that we should is the general, I'm not sure if tone is the right word, but how gritty and brutal we want the game to be, and how much, if that's one end, and then you have the cool adventure, nothing really bad happens sort of thing on the other end. And this will impact the mechanics in some ways, even if it's not a strict rules thing. But the grittier we make things, the rougher the consequences will be when you roll mixed successes or misses. And it will be, when you resist something, it will probably be something that's still bad, but just not as bad. While if we do it more towards the adventurous side, then consequences will be less severe, and you will more often be able to just avoid them completely. If you resist something, then it just, oh, nothing happened. Whereas on the other hand, yeah, you got shot, but you didn't die, you just got badly shot, that sort of thing. I don't have a strong preference. I don't think I want to go too far towards the adventurous side, but that's about as far as I've thought about it. Does anyone else have any ideas or preferences?
I think this.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
go ahead,
for it.
Mark.
Oh, I was just saying, like, on a scale from 1 to 5, like gritty to adventure, I'd probably be about a 2, but super flexible.
2 towards gritty. Like which
2
one's
towards
one? Which
gritty.
one's
Yeah.
okay? I can live with that. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I plan on putting my character in harm's way a lot and want to be
Mhm.
hurt, but I don't want to lose my character on session 2.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, cool.
And that being said, I just realized I'm asking you, it's okay to put my child in danger, but not to have them be permanently harmed or anything like that in the end. Even though we can take a lot of harm, I just don't want any harm to the child.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm up for pretty gritty. I'll do 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah. So then we know roughly where we are. I'll put a note in the note.
But if our other player comes in and they're wanting other stuff, I'm totally willing to negotiate.
Yeah, same.
Cool. I'll put no permanent harm to Bria's child on the safety tab. And if you want a different formulation for that, just put it in there. But yeah, and we have an ask first on harm to children anyway, so I don't think that should be a problem. But as always, just tell me if I'm going too far with any of that. I don't like putting children in harm's way in games anyway. So, but now there is a child in the game, and their mother is an assassin. So some things are on the table that usually aren't. Okay, cool. So we're going for pretty gritty, not the most grim dark, everybody dies all the time sort of thing, but still things will be fairly dangerous. Cool. I think that concludes most of the setup. We're missing one player today. He will have to catch up. In the meantime, I think we can do most of their character creation offline, but they'll get to introduce their character in the first proper session, which will be next week. Now we have some time left, so I'd like to do some short vignettes or short scenes introducing, showing your characters preparing for a job. We haven't set the details of this job yet, but the sort of things you would be doing when you've been given a mission to take someone out. And actually, let's say that I need to find the right tab. Lidra has provided you with a job. She has told you it comes from the Rebel Alliance. from the rebels. You don't know exactly. Does that mean Max's rebels? Does it mean some other rebel faction? You're not sure, but you know it's a job for the rebels to disappear a bureaucrat who is working. A bureaucrat, a member of the imperial bureaucracy, who has been funneling funds to some basically stay behind imperial organization. They're setting up to essentially be some kind of resistance or that sort of thing. Because they figure the empire won't be able to hold together. The emperor is gone, the Death Star is gone, the other Death Star is gone. But these are hardcore believers who are going to continue to fight. Basically, this person is making sure they have money and resources to set up safe houses and stock weapons, that sort of thing. And the rebels want this person gone. You don't need to make a statement. This is not a political thing. This is just a practical thing. They want this person to disappear. So we'll just do some short scenes of what kind of thing you'd be doing in preparation. This isn't, we're not doing this as a mechanical thing. This would be probably part of some information gathering. I should say what I'm planning to do for the first job is to put you in basically with the engagement role. I'll provide you with some information. We'll do the engagement role and see what happens. Usually there would be some information gathering phase. I guess that's kind of what we're doing now, where you would be able to figure some things out and try to find out more about the target. So maybe we'll do some dice rolling, maybe not. We'll see. Does anyone have an idea they want to start with right away, or should I pick someone?
It feels like the first step would involve Boko doing some recon on the target, just following them through their day or seeing where they live, where they work, what their habits are.
That's cool. I have no problems if Bokosh does out, or Boka goes out to do that. Edema would shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit of backup. Far backup. Like I'm trailing Boko, not worried about our target.
Right. Yeah.
Bria is sitting in front of a data terminal of some sort, and they are researching, studying, finding out who the target's contacts are and who their family is. Because if things go wrong and we're face to face, then I might be able to pull out a name as a threat and get the upper hand on them. So that's what I'm doing.
Cool. So their name is Mar Tibor. I'll put it in the chat. I'll have them in the NPCs tab for next time. So let's see. Let's start with Bokosh. So you're, are you trailing them? Are you watching their house or their home, or trying to get into their place of work? Or
Yeah, I think I'm probably starting off from wherever they live and just following them, to work or to whatever they're doing. See what they're doing during the day, whether that's hanging out in an office all day or doing something else. Just sort of getting a feel for their rhythms, their routine.
Yeah. Cool. This sounds like a hunt action. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Cool. I think with gather information, this is basically a fortune roll. I'll be happy to take input on how I'm doing the rulings here, because I'm flying by the seat of my pants now. I'm not an expert on the system, but we're not going to have a lot of consequences and that sort of thing with these rolls. This is basically just to see how much information you find out. I think I actually have something for that in the rules tab where I put everything. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just make the roll and see what happens.
So I'm rolling 2 dice.
You're rolling two d6s because you have 2 dots in hunt, and you're picking the best one. If you get double 6s, it's a crit.
Awesome.
And I should bring up the dice roller.
That's a 4 and a 6. It looks like.
Oh, then it's a 6. That's excellent.
Yeah.
You can. After a couple of days of trailing him, you realize he has very regular habits. He goes to work early. He comes home fairly late. He stays at the office a lot of his time. He has a family. Actually, no, let's back that up. The apartment that you have, where he stays during the work week, that's just a single. It's a small apartment in the security sector, close to the office, and then he has a different home that seems to be where his family lives. Where he goes basically on the weekends. It's not that much more distant, but it seems he's more concerned with being at work than being at home with his family when he's working. I think, is there anything additional you want to, anything related to that?
Does he do anything else during the day, like go out for lunch or meet anyone outside? Any Imperial contacts maybe he has to meet with?
Not that you've seen. He works in the big central bureaucracy complex. It's a huge building that's basically a
really nice cafeteria there.
Yeah, probably, or as nice a cafeteria as you get among the Imperials. I don't know what the quality is, but probably decent. He doesn't go out during the evenings. It seems he spends his time, at least when he's in his work apartment, he's still just working. He seems to not have much of a life outside of that. During, I don't know, do they have weekends in Star Wars? Let's say on one of his days off anyway, he goes out with the person you assume is his husband, who is they're similar age. They go out, have a nice dinner, and then they go home again.
That sounds like the best window would be coming home from work sometime early in the week. And I'll relate all this to Bria, who's also doing that research to hopefully save her some time.
What do you look like when you're hunting someone? Like,
Yeah.
what kind of clothes do you wear? Like, what would the camera see if you were doing it?
Yeah, I think I just try to blend in as much as possible, just be like a super generic citizen hanging out in whatever area I am. So that's going to look different in different districts. So in SecSec. Probably, although I can't, lean too hard on my street sec background. I know what the folks around there look like. So although I don't present as a cop, I present as someone who belongs there. Just trying to not stand out.
Do you have a lot of ID cards in case you like?
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, so let's cut to Bria. You were doing some research, trying to find out more.
Yeah, I'm smoking some mild form of spice, and sitting in front of a terminal, like knees to chest kind of thing. And she's got you'll see the picture later on, but she has this long silver hair that she has braided. She has golden eyes, and let's see. I think she goes through records and stuff like that, like in this case, a marriage record, wherever the target shows up in, legal documents and stuff like that. But then she's going to go into things like, trying to track bank account records and stuff like that. Where are they purchasing things, and where are things that we, they own a property in the Heights or something like that. Like, those kinds of things. I'm looking for the secrets. The secrets are what I'm looking for.
Yeah, cool. I think this sounds like a study, unless you, yeah. Cool. So you have one die in study. Yeah, and your special ability does not apply to this.
Yeah. I'll push myself.
Yeah, cool. That will cost you 2 stress.
Okay. Note that.
And that gives you 1 extra die.
Yeah. 1 stress, 2 stress, and then go to the dice roller link here.
I should probably have the
2d6. Yep, 2d6. No modifier.
So
I have a 4.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, a 4. So you get some detail. You still get most of the information. I need to check the rules tab. Yeah. Mars' husband is called Myrick. Put that in the chat as well.
Yeah, I would have been studying Myrick then if I found a husband. I would have been studying
Yeah.
their
Cool,
secrets and stuff like that too.
Absolutely.
And I can wait until next week if you want to go secrets.
No, I'll give you some of it right away, at least what I can think of off the top of my head. Myrick works. He has a regular office job somewhere in Bright Market. It's at a company, one of the big fancy corporations, but it seems to be just a fairly regular job. He's not a manager or anything. he's some kind of a financial analyst. So he's good with money, but that seems to be it. There doesn't seem to be anything shady about his job.
I've got an idea for a consequence.
Yeah, cool.
Because the 4 comes with the consequence, right?
I don't think that generally applies to gather information, but I'm not sure actually.
Okay. Right.
Let's see. I think that's just how much information you get.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. He does. You find some, and actually, let me put in a general thing here. I like to generally lead into Star Wars technology as being the World War II with lasers. But I'm fine with the computer networks sort of thing. It's hard to avoid when you're without everything being weird. But I think what you can get are like the public records, that sort of thing, the general information. If you want, you can't do slicing or hacking just over the HoloNet or whatever it's called. Then you have to go to the terminal at the place where you want to find the secret information. That's what
Got it. I completely agree. I understand. Yes.
Yeah, cool. Just so that we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, hacking makes blades hard.
Yeah.
So let's just cut that out.
Yeah. But you do find out that he also owns an additional apartment in Emerald Row, which is the entertainment district. And it's not in the upscale part near the Heights, where things are nice and there are fancy establishments. This is the seedier part near the docks. It's from this you can't find out what the purpose of the apartment is, but it's a regular it's a regular apartment as far as you can tell from the records you can find. It's in his name only, and he's had it for about 5 years. So it's been a while, but you know from the marriage records that they've been married for longer than that. They've been married for 10 years. So it's something he has acquired later.
Okay. Well, I will send that address to Boko to investigate when he gets the time to visit.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, is there anything, do you have any like follow-up questions on that? Anything additional?
Are they from Coruscant or are they off-world?
Yeah, they're both of them were born in Coruscant. Mirik makes a bit more money than Mar. The bureaucrat job doesn't pay as well as being an analyst at a corporation.
Got it.
But the apartment where they live together is in both names. They own that together.
Got it. Okay. No, I don't need anything else.
Cool. So let's cut to Etema. When Bokosh was shadowing Mar and watching, you were back up.
Yes.
He was dressed as a cop. Did you dress up the same way, or were you staying hidden, or
this was sec, so I probably would just try to stay hidden. Maybe creeping along rooftops kind of deal, just staying out of the way. Anywhere else, Etema would probably wear next to nothing and just disappear as looking like some kind of street worker.
Cool. So do you continue just to be backup, or do you strike off on your own? Do you have one? Do you want to check in with a contact or something? See if you can figure something out.
It's on one hand, the player, want to do active things. On the other hand, Edema is not going to leave Boko out in the lurch. And also, just looking at time, I'm okay if just Edema did the thing. She did a good job. She watched over Boko, and that's all I need. I'm good. I just want a couple moments.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for reminding me about the time. I completely lost track. We should end the session. I think maybe we could, if you think you have enough information that you can sort of know what kind of plan you're going for, we could set set that. So when you're planning a score, you choose an approach. You can go for assault, deception, stealth, weird, social, or transport. And then you set some detail depending on what you're going for. Do you have an idea?
I mean, Edema would throw out, Boko's found out where this person travels. We go sit in the middle, we disappear them. That's Edema's whole point. Which, looking at playing the score, that sounds like assault, because this deception is luring or tricking someone, but we're we know their path. So then assault might be the way to go.
You just grab him, kill him, and or grab him. I'm not sure. It could be assault. It could be transport if you're like bringing him with you somewhere. I'm not sure.
But I'm also trying to lean in towards predators to see if we can get that to bonus us. That's so just to speak nakedly mechanical.
Yeah. So basically, you're trying to, at some point during his journey from work to home, I think he walks, you just find a good spot to grab him, basically. That sound right?
Sounds right.
Cool. Yeah. Then we'll start next session with introducing Matt's character, and then we'll do the engagement roll and see how things unfold.
Sounds good.
Cool. I'll stop the recording here. Is that right, Anish?
Yep.
All right.